Hello my loves, how you doing? If you're new here, karibu sana. I go by the name Vivian Odhiambo, aka Fashion Guru Kenya, aka Mtoto wa Homa Bay County. So today we are making soft layered chapati, the unfiltered version. I'm going to show you what goes on when you're making chapati, what could go wrong, what could go right, how do we fix it, okay? Okay, without any further ado, let's get right into it. We have all-purpose flour ajab, we have 1 carrot, and we have an egg because we can. Okay, let's get right into it. As you can see, I've already grated my carrots. If you're grating your carrot, make sure you grate with the smaller part of the carrot. Don't be like me. Yes, this is going to work still, but I prefer the smaller sizes. Okay, so the small flour, that is 1 kg, it normally gives you 13 to 16 chapatis. The big flour, 2 kgs, it normally gives you 26 to 28 chapatis. Okay, so if you're making for a big family, use the big flour. If you're making for a small family, use the small flour. You have to use it all so that it can come up with those 13 or 28 chapatis. But here is the thing though, you also need to have extra flour or extra flour for when you put maji mingi or a lot of water in the flour and you don't know what to do. You need to have extra flour for that. Okay, so what I did was I had remaining flour in this other big pack, so I put it there, and then I'm going to add in half of the small one, the all-purpose ajab small flour inside, so that I can remain with half just in case I put a lot of water. I can redeem myself. Okay, now I think you understand me. Let's get going. This is my flour or my flour. I'm just going to go ahead and add in the carrots. So now I'm going to go ahead and put 1 teaspoon of salt. When it comes to the small flour, the 1 kg, 1 teaspoon always works for me. You can see the size of the teaspoon that I'm talking about. When it comes to the big flour, I always put 2 teaspoons and it works for me. What I do is after I mix it, I always taste my flour. Before I put in water, I always taste my flour to see if it has enough salt. I know it's weird, but that's what I do. I normally taste my flour or my flour. Okay, as you can see right now, I'm mixing the carrots with the flour together. Now it's time to add in the egg. I wanted to try something different and see how it goes, so I put an egg in the mix. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and beat that egg, then add it to the flour. It's time to add in the cooking oil, so I'm going to add 3 bottle tops of cooking oil, that bottle top of cooking oil, that is the top of the cooking oil. Yeah, I'm going to add 3 of these at first, and then the 4th one I'm going to add it in later. Okay, that is what I normally do for the small flour. I add 4 in total when I'm making the dough. Okay, so the 4th one I'm going to show you where we are going to add it. You don't want to put too much cooking oil, because you're going to use cooking oil while cooking it and later while prepping it. I'm just going to show you how it's going to go. God, English. Then I'm going to add in warm water. I normally use warm water. I know some people use cold water, some people use hot water, but I normally use warm water. So I'm going to add in water until I'm satisfied with the texture that I have. So it's not enough yet, I'm going to add more water. Here's the thing with the chapati, there is no right or wrong way to do it. Okay, you just learn, and the more you cook it, chapati is like driving or riding a bicycle. The more you cook it, the better you get at it. Okay, if you've learned the techniques, the more you cook it, the better you get at it, the better you know what works and what doesn't work for you. So this is the water I was talking about. I put 1 of this already. I'm going to add half of that and see how it goes. And oops, I think I've added too much. So what are we going to do? We are going to add more flour. This is why I was telling you having extra flour is really important, because you're going to need it in this process. You're also going to need it while flattening the chapati dough. Okay, so I'm going to add in more flour. Someone will wonder why I'm using this mwiko to stir my unga. I just don't want to get into it when it's still like that. I just want to koroga it or stir it until it gets to a certain texture. Then I'm able to go in with my hands and knead it really, really well. Okay. As you can see, I'm going in with my hand right now, and it is still sticky, so I'm going to add in more flour, but not too much, because you don't want a dough that is like a ball that when someone hits you with it, they're able to hurt you. We want a dough that is soft. We want a dough that it's just a tiny bit sticky, because for me that works. I end up making very soft chapati when the dough is a tiny bit sticky, not too sticky, just a tiny bit sticky. Okay. Remember the 4th bottle top of cooking oil that I was talking about? Now is the time to put it. Advantages of putting it at this stage, it's because it helps the dough on your hand go away, like it helps the stickiness go away. It's going to make our chapati softer. Okay, so I'm just going to knead that inside and make sure that the cooking oil gets inside. Okay. My dough is ready. I'm just going to let it rest for 30 minutes, but first I need to cover it. Polythene in Kenya is banned, so you know what I do to sidanganyane madugu na madada? I use, this is a bread polythene, the bread that we ate, the polythene, that is what I'm using. Long time ago, before polythene was banned, that is what we used to use. But now that it is not there, we have to improvise. So that one that we use for bread, that is what I use when it comes to my chapati. Don't pretend, I know you do too. Okay. After sitting for 30 minutes, this is how it looks. Remember I told you I like my dough a tad bit sticky. This is what I meant. Now we're going to put it into balls, roll it, and put some cooking oil. That is why I was telling you that in the first stages you don't need to put a lot of cooking oil, because if you do, it's going to be too oily. The chapatis are going to be too oily, because the first stage you put a lot of oil, here again you're putting another oil, then when you're cooking you're putting oil too. Just avoid putting a lot of oil, okay, because you have different stages where oil is going to be needed. So now I'm going to put them into balls first, count them and see how many they are. I'm actually shaping them, sizing them, and see how many chapatis we are going to be cooking today. Okay. After sizing the chapatis, I came up with 13 large chapatis. So now it's time to put oil and cook the chapatis. This process right here is the process that is going to give your chapati layers. So watch carefully and learn. Now our dough is ready to be turned into chapati. This part right here, you're supposed to cover this dough with a cloth or a polythene so that they don't dry out while you're cooking the rest. Okay, so let's roll them out and get to cooking. I'm just going to show you the results in a few. When it comes to rolling the chapatis, here is a trick. Don't roll them too thin, especially in the middle, or too thin at the end, at the edges. You're going to end up with hard chapati. Like in Kenya, we call it chapati ya Yesu. It's going to be like crackers. Okay? So make sure you roll it evenly. Not too thin, not too thick. Okay, remember, if you roll it too thin in the middle, it's going to crack. If you roll it too thin at the end, it's going to crack. Okay. We are going to put the dough that we have rolled out. We're going to wait it to turn like that, and then now we are going to apply oil at the top like that. And then by the time you finish applying the oil, the other side has turned, so we are going to turn it right back and let it cook. Now here's the thing, after you have turned it back like this, you need to wait for the other side to cook. I'm turning it like that so that it can cook in all parts. You need to let the other sides cook first before you can apply oil on top here, because if you apply oil on top here before the down part is cooked, it's going to dry out. Okay, so I'm just going to check if it's cooked. It's almost ready. Now I'm going to start applying oil on top so that I can turn it. Okay, don't apply oil too soon. It's going to dry the chapati out. At least that's what I know. So after that other side has been cooked, like this side, the chapati is ready. We can remove it and put on the next and the next and the next and the next. Now let me show you the results. Do you see what I'm saying? Let me just tell you, these chapatis were delicious. Even my neighbor said they were really delicious. They enjoyed them. They wanted more. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Click on that notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Please let me know in the comment section if you've tried this or how do you make your chapati. Until next time, it's goodbye for me. Love you. Bye bye. Mwah.